Welcome to 5-Minute Mediumship, and in this video I wanted to look at some of the aspects of platform etiquette. So when we think about platform demonstrating, and it doesn't really matter whether you're demonstrating as part of a service or whether you are doing a demonstration that's purely a mediumship demonstration, there is something that we need to consider in terms of platform, and primarily that's one of the things is the length of the contact communication. So if you're having a one-to-one sitting, your contact, might range anything from 25 minutes to 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and some people even do an hour sittings. But when you're working on platform, you're working with a really specific aim, and that is to allow spirit to communicate with as many of their loved ones in the audience as possible. Now, we don't want to mix up quality versus quantity, so you don't want to be giving a 2-minute message. When you have a contact, you want to be giving enough information about the contact to evidence them. You want to be allowing them to explain why they're there, but then you also want to be drawing the communication to a close. Now, I'm sure we've all seen platform demonstrations where the medium gives a message. By the time they've placed and done everything else, the message is 20 minutes long. And there are two aspects to consider with that. And first of all is, if we think about the actual, excuse the pun, the medium of platform, ideally you're working with a number of people, but there are also a number of people in the audience that are not going to get messages. And if we think about this from a spiritual perspective, if we look at the first level, which is that the spirit contact wants to be able to communicate with you to relay the contact and a message or communication to their recipient, their loved one in the audience. So that's the first level. The second level is that platform is a means by which spirits themselves can relay the intelligence and the progression of the soul after the death of the physical body. So part of the reason I believe that spirit support and enable and encourage that sense of platform mediumship within so many of us is not just to enable the medium to reach a specific recipient with a specific contact, but it's also to enable that voice and that essence and that understanding, that intelligence and that presence of spirit to reach a wider audience. So to touch also and inform also those people within the audience that do not receive a specific contact. Now, the way that they do that is by demonstrating through you, the medium, all of the different types of people that are there in the spirit world waiting to communicate with their loved ones. So if you have an hour's demonstration and you only deliver 3 contacts because each of those communications is 20 minutes long, you're only really showing and giving spirit the opportunity to present, to demonstrate, and to bring forth their essence in a very limited way, because as you progress with with the communication, what will happen is your energy will become focused on the recipient, because that's what happens. So really, when you think about platform, part of the reason for keeping the message relatively short, so anything from between about 5 to 7-8 minutes really per contact, is to enable not only a range of contacts to be given to the recipients, but to enable spirit to demonstrate the range of contacts, the fact that people are in spirit, and therefore also the range of evidence as well, because that's also part and parcel of something that demonstrates to a non-believer that actually there might be something in it. So that's the first thing. The second thing with giving a 20-minute sitting, a 20-minute reading on platform, excuse my cat, he's being a bit vocal today, is that you actually start to lose the interest of the rest of the audience when you are working with a specific individual for 20 minutes. You know, it doesn't matter how interested you are as an individual in a demonstration. The fact of the matter is that if the medium is working with a recipient for 20 minutes, you as an audience member is going to lose interest. If the audience starts to lose interest, the energy in the room starts to change. And while it is not the audience's responsibility to create and provide the energy for you, the medium, to work with, it does mean that it takes a lot more effort on your part as the medium to support and to enable the energy if the audience loses interest. Okay, so that's also really important. So if you have a 20-minute contact finishes, the audience has actually then got to raise its energy to be interested for the next contact that you're bringing through, in case it's for them, in case it's for that person. And you have also got to do a lot more work in that instant to actually lift your energy to support that aspect of communication. So when we think about platform, it's very easy to think, I must deliver the contact, I must deliver the communication in the way the contact wants it to. But actually, working with the medium of platform in the way that it is meant to be worked with, so short, succinct, meaningful messages, not personal one-to-one communications, is actually why there is such a thing as platform. You are serving both the recipient and the spirit world by enabling yourself to work with platform appropriately. And I know this video is going to be slightly longer than usual, but there's also something else that's really important to say. And that is that so often we believe that we must allow the contact to finish communicating what they want to say, but actually the contact and the spirit world take their lead from us. So if you set that intention and you say to spirit, you know, my contacts are going to be no more than 10 minutes, they will say what they need to say. They will communicate what they need to communicate at that moment in time within the 10 minutes that you've allotted. So I hope that's been really useful, and I'll talk a little bit more about platform etiquette in the next video.